Hang on, I'm muted. Okay, we're unmuted and we're live, and I'm recording. Everything is perfect. Hello, internet. How is everyone's evenings? Everyone's days? So I'm on chats, of course, where we talk to other musicians. At the moment, we're on like a bit of an LMS UK streak where we're booked up until like the end of August now, pretty much, with just LMS UK artists, which is quite good. And tonight, fellow artists, we have, if you'd like to introduce yourself. I don't know what
James Sebastian. Hello.
Hello, how are you on this fine evening?
I'm wonderful, thank you, Callum. How are you?
Oh, yes, I'm all good. Tired.
Good.
Tired. We've literally, we're in the middle of our tour, and it's like, it's tour the weekend, work, tour the weekend, work, and it's kind of taking it a little bit out of me.
Relentless. When's the holiday?
Yeah. Well, we have got actually another holiday soon. Next month. No, the month after, because we're going to Portugal.
Portugal? Is it a band holiday?
It is a band. We're actually playing over in Portugal. We're actually, I don't know if we've announced that yet. I probably shouldn't say anything. We're just going over to Portugal.
We didn't say anything about Portugal. Portugal? Where's Portugal?
I think we said it a few times, but yeah, we won't say with who, but we know some people over there, and they've hooked us up. So we're going to go over there and band holiday, I suppose, and get a gig out of it.
Oh, they're always good. They're always good, the band holidays. And
it will be my first ever time abroad. I've never been abroad.
Oh my God, ever?
Ever. I've never been abroad. I've been to Wales. That's about it.
One border crossed in your life.
Yeah, basically. And this weekend we'll be in Segway. On tour. We'll be in Scotland, which will be the furthest I've ever been from home. One more step, and it's the
second
furthest.
Border crossed in your life.
Be fantastic. But that's enough about me and what we're doing. Everyone knows what we're doing. We post about it literally almost every single day. Let's hear a little bit about you, James. I don't know what side I'm on for you. For me, I'm on this side, pointing this way. I don't know if that's right.
I might be that side as well. I can't really tell. Up, down, maybe.
So, James, what is it that you do? Are you a one-man band? Are you a singer-songwriter?
Well, I'm a classic rock inspired rocker with a backing band, working in London and around the UK, everywhere you'd want us to be. And just trying to bring the groove and the aesthetic and the energy and the power and the hair of 70s music into the modern music scene.
Mm-hmm. Sounds pretty good. And how's it been going for you? Has it been going good?
Oh, it's grand. Yeah. I mean, I've been in the game a while now to know what I am in the scene. I'm obviously, when you first start, you don't really know that you're a long-haired rocker bringing the groove into the modern music. So you don't go into it thinking I am that. But after many years, it's come to that point, and yeah, it's wonderful. I absolutely love everything about it.
And how long have you been doing it for?
Oh, I mean, I specifically as James Sebastian, as a solo artist, since 2021. But I've been in bands prior to that, and music has always, it is one of those cliches, isn't it? It's it's inside you, really. But I just love a good tune, really. That's the heart and soul of it.
So it's all good. And is that how you've always started off, or where did you get your start with music?
Oh, it was well, actually, it's quite a strange origin of it. Was my parents bought me season 2 of the Monkees. Well, you might know the Monkees of like I'm a Believer and Daydream Believer and all the Believers. But in the 60s they had this kind of sitcom, zany, wacky, a bit like live action Scooby-Doo kind of thing of the band, and I was just obsessed with it, and I knew all the songs and all the chase scenes and everything, and it was kind of just sparked this fascination with the performance aspect.
That's all good. So where you got your start. And do you do any covers of the Monkees?
We used to, actually. I did used to. There's this B-side called "Going Down," which is actually one of my favourite songs of all time. We used to play that live in this little pub in Exeter called the Old Firehouse, and it's like when you get midway through that song, it's very fast and you're kind of transcending. It was a wonderful moment to, be lost in a Monkeys song in a pub. It was brilliant.
That's fair enough. And do you just sing then, or do you also play guitar, or bass or drums?
In terms of live performances, I used to do guitar.
Oh.
With my band,
Yeah.
but I used to have the guitar, but it was always just sort of in the way. I found I'm a very sort of, when I'm on stage, I'm a bit everywhere, a bit sort of manic and racing around, and I always kind of felt when I had the guitar, it was just this thing that I just had to hold. I was being forced to hold it, and
yeah,
I'm glad that I put it down, and now I can leg it everywhere I want to go.
It's quite freeing, quite nice.
It really is. Yeah. The only thing now that tethers me is the microphone cable, and I've tripped over that a couple of times.
Simon, our singer, he swears by his radio mic. He got one once, and he said
really?
he's never gone back after getting it. Like once you splash the cash on it, I think it's probably worth it. I don't know. We've got me and Stevie, our guitarist, because I play bass, Stevie plays guitar. We've gone to like wireless. The little wireless pack things on our guitars, and it's like absolute game changer, because like, anytime we go on any kind of stage now, it's like when you're on a small stage, it's awful playing because there's cables everywhere. You've got all the sound cables, and then so
on them all.
Yeah, it's quite nice just to be able to just rush around, I guess, without worrying of cables. Gosh. Sorry, my chair is slowly.
You must sometimes get like a little PTSD flashback and kind of think, oh god, I'm going to pull it out of the amp.
Yeah, and you don't. I can spin around as many times as I want. It's amazing.
Oh my god, that's wonderful. Well, that is the next step for me.
Yeah, and we do a lot
before you even ask the question.
Yeah, we do a lot of like going into the crowd and everything as well. Kind of.
Oh yeah.
I suppose it's like breaking the fourth wall a little bit. I don't know. I don't know.
No, but it's immersive, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's proper. When fans go and watch a musical act, it's like their dream is like, God, I wish they could come down and we could be on their level. They could be in among the. Among the thing, and there you go.
Yeah, and it is fun. Everyone always goes. Everyone thinks it's like the craziest thing in the world when you just walk off the stage.
I know,
but
it's great. It's such a wonderful feeling.
And it is great. I was going to say, how would you? Speaking about enough about our live performances. How would you describe your live performances? That's what I wanted to say.
Oh, just sweaty, energetic. Like it's just. Basically, it's just kind of. I was going to say non-stop. That there is a ballad or two, so it does. There is a dynamic to it, but it's just. I just love theatrical elements of playing live. If someone's there watching you, why not just go absolutely crazy and just let loose and give them a show? People turn up wanting to be entertained. I'm happy to try my best.
No, we always say that. It's even if you're in a room of 5 people or 10 people, just do it like it's 300. Do it like it's an absolutely stacked room.
Because if one person goes home thinking, God, they really gave it their all. Even if it's 5 people and one person goes home thinking that, you've gained one fan.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about that. All that one fan at a time and touring around.
Yeah, absolutely. You do it for the love of the game.
And you kind of have to, I think, with music, because
absolutely. It's one of those things where if you're sort of truly passionate in it, it's just fun just to do it anyway. Yeah. You don't have to force yourself to be. If you absolutely hated being on stage and you really think, oh, I've got to try my absolute hardest here, it would be quite demanding. But if you love doing it, you love doing it.
Yeah. And having fun. It's all fun at the end of the day.
It's all about the fun.
Right. And do you do all originals, or do you do any covers? Or is it kind of a mix?
It's all originals now. It's sort of through the years we've had a smattering of covers, but we tend to save a cover or two for an encore on occasion, stuff like Back in Black, or stuff. Everybody will know it, and if everyone's had a banging time and they want one last screamer, then we've got one in our pocket.
Oh, Simon's here.
Simon, hello.
Hello. Hello, Simon.
Hello, Simon.
You've joined us on the
Hello.
R1 chats with.
I've joined the R1 chats. How you doing, James?
I'm doing wonderfully, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks. I believe we met at the Wigwam Awards. Is that right?
We did. I remember it fondly. Yeah.
Fantastic. Hell yeah, dude. That was a good night. Enjoyed that.
That was good. It was wonderful.
Nice. Where you guys got to then? I won't interrupt too heavily.
Not too far. Just talking about live performances and whether James does originals or covers. Yeah, but he says he doesn't do many covers anymore unless it's an encore.
Hell yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Get the properly known ones, the ones that in everyone's minds. Get them out at the end.
Hell yeah. All right, Callum, I'll leave you to it. I'll be here. And I'll join in and I'll get signed into the YouTube and all that stuff. In the background.
Yeah, that's all good. So where you said, are you fully based in London or are you kind of?
Yeah, fully based in London as of now. I started ages ago in Exeter, where I went to uni, and then Exeter's a great place for music. It's a fantastic music scene, but the city's quite small, so you play a few venues and you kind of get to know them all. And something wonderful about that because all the bands know each other. And it's very close knit. But I always thought London, it's kind of the place to be musically, I suppose. So much to do.
There is a lot in London. Probably too much.
Probably too much, but we try our best, don't we? We sift through.
London.
Yeah, we're not.
Got my gripes with London.
We're not the biggest
I went to a
fans.
show at the O2 the other day. I went to 21 Pilots at the O2. Fantastic
Oh
show.
yeah.
What I saw of it, because the drive there took 4 hours. They've lowered the speed limits to 20 mile an hour all across London. I paid ULEZ to get in, and then ULEZ past midnight, along with congestion charge on the way in. On top of that, I went through a tunnel, which apparently now costs money.
What?
And then parking for 2.5 hours. I'll let you guess. What would you say? 2.5 hours parking in London?
60 quid.
60? Fuck, it wasn't that bad. It was 40 quid, but that's
Yeah.
bad.
That's
60
still awful, isn't it?
Yeah, man. 2.5 hours parking, 40 quid is like, for a little southerner like me, that was scary.
Yeah.
2 hours parking in Bournemouth, to give you reference, could be about £1.50.
Can be. Depends where you are.
Yeah.
How much did you end up spending the whole night?
I am not going to work that out. I have made a point not to.
Number's too big.
I don't think I can count that high. I'm a musician.
And we've got it all again.
It was above 4.
Got it all again next month.
Oh my god.
Are we in London?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not driving that one.
For 9 Inch Nails. Get Stevie to drive it. Stevie will drive it.
Yeah. He's probably got a compliant car and everything. Like, you can't drive a van into London. You can't have musical equipment across London. They just charge the shit out of you. Like,
what do they expect us to do? Bike it all? A whole drum kit on 7 bikes?
just cycle. Yeah, we could cycle. We could cycle for it'd only be like 2 days ride, I reckon. We could
Back and forth.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think London's kind of pricing itself out in the market when it comes to musicians outside of London. It seems to be shelling itself into the London music scene, separate from the rest of the country's music scene a little bit, which I think is a bit personally concerning, because I used to, I've always thought London's the place to be for music, places like Camden for rock music especially, Shoreditch more and more so, obviously a few places across London that are pretty good as well, but bit scary for us. We can't really afford to play in London unless we charge pretty well double our expenses. So
yeah, it is a tough market at the moment, tough industry, because it's all, you're right, it is kind of closing itself off in spaces and grassroots venues as well. You're kind of losing the ability to go to them for what they are as like a low level thing. Mm-hmm. Now you've got to fork out so much just to get on a stage.
Yeah, man. Do you ever get those booking agencies as well? They'll contact you on Instagram or through your email, and they'll be like, "Hey guys, we're gonna put you on this show," and it's like, all right, let's hear about the show. Oh, you have to sell X tickets, and then we'll pay you X amount of the ticket sales. And I'm like,
Yeah.
get it, but
Yeah.
no. I'll put my own show on in London, and I'll take the profits. How about that?
Yeah, we've dealt with one promoter who I won't name names, obviously, but it was for a festival in Brixton, and it was we had to sell, I think it was 20 tickets, and I mean they were a promoter, they didn't do much promoting,
They do
but
not.
you know
Take a
obviously
percentage, and they do
we're
not
past
promote.
it now. Yeah, we're past it now, but it was an interesting situation and a good learning curve, I think.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's good to know about these things.
I'm in another band where we do a bit more work in London, actually. But I've kind of got two different things going on. So Region One's very much the grassroots, do-it-yourself kind of band. We're very much like, if we can put on a show ourselves, we'll do it, and then we'll split our, earnings between the bands, and if the venue needs a cut, all that kind of stuff. It is a weird approach. I don't know how well it works in London because I do understand a lot of the venues are tied to their promoters and booking agents. So have you found that to be the case quite a bit? Have you ever put on your own sort of show in London, or has it always been with promoters?
I when I first moved to London, I did try to put on a few by myself, but it can be very difficult because the promoters do. It depends with promoters. You really do have to sort of sift through it to find the right ones, because sometimes you get some, they are really, they are committed and they do promote it and they bring a good crowd, and you kind of feel a bit more confident in them. But you do get some where they're promoter in name only, really. And
absolutely.
and then they get mad at you for not having brought that many people out. But it's like we said, that's the industry at the moment, and you've got to stay in it for the love of the game.
Hell yeah, man, absolutely. And have you guys already done like links to YouTube and stuff? Because I'll get a link. Have you got a latest single out I can pop in the chat, for example?
I haven't got a specific YouTube link, but the latest single is available on everything. It should probably be on YouTube. It's called Moonlight, and it came out on the 30th of April.
Perfect. I'm going to get a link to that one, and I will leave you to it, Callum. Back to it, sir.
Absolutely.
He's buffering.
I'm buffering. I'm thinking. The Hazy Jane.
The Hazy Jane got to you.
I've got the double Hazy Jane.
Oh my god! You should have saved it for the ride tomorrow, dude. They'd put you to sleep for the ride home.
No, it'll be fine. I've got a 10-pack of Carlsberg.
Hell yes.
Ready and waiting, locked in.
Oh my god, these boys! Honestly, have you done a full tour yet, James? Have you done like a tour with the band or anything yet?
I have done. Yeah, it is a fun one.
Are yours also alcoholics?
Well, you'll always take a free pint after a gig.
Oh yeah. There is that.
Yeah. We'll try hardest. Far and few between though. Far and few between the free pints.
They're very rare in UK. Yeah, apparently Europe and America they look after you a bit better. But I'm gonna put a link to your YouTube video actually for looking for a sign as well, if that's all right.
Sure. Yeah.
Put
that in. So, well, if he's putting the link in, we might as well talk about your new single, Moonlight. You said it was called.
Sure.
How was the recording and writing like for that?
It was really good. It was we kind of did Moonlight and the single before it, which was called Don't Tell Mary. We did them sort of concurrently. So the band and I worked through it sort of the end of last year, getting everything lined up and going to a proper drum studio, and making sure everything was mixed nicely. And then the interesting thing about the process for Moonlight was we got to a point where we were happy with it, and then we came back to it a week later and we thought, actually, we want a bit more from it. So we sort of redid the whole mixing stage fresh, and I think we're very happy with how it turned out eventually, because it's one of those situations where it really grew in the studio.
That's cool, man.
It became.
I'm gonna listen to it at the moment. I'd sort of influences for this track. I guess you sort of more around the 80s kind of hard rock kind of area for it. What would you say?
70s, 80s. I was very inspired by like Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin. You know, the big
Yeah.
rock ballads of yesteryear.
Hell yeah, dude. I miss them. I miss them.
Yeah, I do too. I was trying to bring one in, but it
Hell
was
yeah, dude.
it was, you know, it's one of those where it's so fun to play live because you really can settle into the song. You can get lost in it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know. When's your next show, by the way? Are you primarily in London at the moment, or are you on tour anytime soon?
Primarily in London. We're doing quite a few London shows over the summer, but I am, you know, I'm always pushing for gigs elsewhere and you know, nosing around and seeing what's available. But our next one is actually on Friday in New Cross. To anyone
Okay.
listening at the
Oh,
Amersham Arms, do pop along. It's always a good laugh, always a giggle, always a groove.
nice, man.
The
I
big
will
groove.
pop that out also. Bit of a groove.
Ooh.
Bit of a groove.
Hell yeah. All right, I'm gonna stop interrupting you, Callum. It's on me. My bad.
It's all right. It's fine. We can go with. So you're talking about Led Zeppelin as an influence. Is there anyone else who has influenced? Who would you say they're the ones who influence you the most, or is there kind of like a smorgasbord?
Probably in terms of aesthetic and image, it's very much like the 70s archetype of rocker that you know the aesthetic is based on. But in terms of overall influence as a musician, I think it's got to be the Beatles. It's a very, you know, it's a basic answer. Everyone will say the Beatles, but there's a reason. They're just so, you know, the variety and the quality and consistency is you know, unbeatable.
How different every Beatles song sounds. It's like crazy.
Absolutely. And to have like a 7-year mainstream career and to go from where they started to where they finished, and 13 albums and 5 films, endless tours, and you just think, blimey, you know, most artists would sort of collapse with exhaustion, but it's almost like the more they worked, the absolute better they got.
I wonder what percentage of that was from doing acid.
Yeah, that's the big debate, isn't it? We'll never know.
I think it probably helped them out a bit in their circumstance, to be fair.
God,
I
yeah.
quite like some of the weird stuff myself. Like, I quite enjoyed that.
They probably run out of songs, and then they took it. They thought, "Blind, okay, there's a few more. Yeah, we got
like,
some."
Fucking hell, there's a whole universe in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, that's cool. I actually haven't had a Beatles phase yet. I'm planning on having one. Personally,
Oh, you really should.
I keep getting recommended. Also, like I had a bit of a Led Zeppelin phase, but I need to go back in. Do you know what I mean? I didn't dig deep enough. I had a bit of a Doors phase last year. That was cool. I do like a Doors phase.
Oh,
that was fun.
yeah.
Bit
We
of
do love the Doors.
deconstructivism. It's good fun.
Yeah. Get lost in it.
Absolutely. Beatles phase is inbound. It's feeling increasingly inevitable. Like really is. I gotta do it, bro. But yeah, man. So actually no, I don't know where you've been already. So Callum, back to you, sir.
We haven't been far. We've just been about a little live show thing, and you know.
Okay. I'll ask
That's
then.
about it.
I'll say, so what got you into wanting to sing and make music in the first place? What inspired you to do that?
Well, yeah, it was. Well, I said earlier, but it was the Monkeys season 2 DVD collection that first put music on my radar. But then, in terms of the singing, what I used to do once, because the Monkeys I always thought was quite interesting because it was like the American fabricated counterpart to the Beatles. So once you're into the Monkeys, you kind of slide into the Beatles quite easily.
It's gone to a weird zoo. That's the weird part of the zoo.
My favorite part.
The monkey beetle habitat. But then what happened was, the problem with YouTube is there's just endless Beatles live performances, and I just used to play them, you know, these hour-long shows and sing along just to a YouTube video. And you know, your parents start to get a bit worried about how obsessed you are, but then you suddenly realize you're a musician, and it just happens like that.
Hell yeah, man. That's cool, dude. I had a similar sort of thing when I was getting into Queen. It was like watching the Live Aid performance just on loop. I was like, I didn't realize at the time when I was studying every single thing. I was like, what can I get from this? What is in here that I could take into my performing world? You know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, I always find it interesting that a lot of people say, "Oh, don't copy your idols." But it's the best way to start is to practice from them, because they're huge for a reason. They're so good, and it's
Damn right.
very valuable to kind
you
of
gotta you gotta learn the rules. You gotta learn the rules to know how to break them, haven't you? You gotta kind of work it out.
That's it.
And
that's the line. Put that on a t-shirt.
Hell yeah! It's not imitation when you're inspired by it either. It's like you're trying to find things that are in the spirit of that thing rather than do the thing itself, which I think
Exactly.
Performing, you always end up with your own expression anyway, because it's just what we do.
If you know exactly how to do the style of another artist, then you can vary it and you can change it and you can make it your own.
And it becomes yours. And also it's really good for fallback. I don't know about you, if we're doing a longer set, I haven't got something planned for every single song. So there are some movements or some expressions that I won't be planning that become nature from, I guess, watching the artist that I love. So
yeah, absolutely. I used to do the whole, the Robert Plant kind of holding the microphone cable in one hand. I used to do that so much. I probably do.
Hell yeah!
It becomes ingrained as part of the stage, what it is to be on stage.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I agree with that. I did try I did try the cane for a while, the Mercury cane.
Did you?
Yeah, I give it a go. It was quite fun for a while. It was good for the power stars and stuff. It wouldn't suit what we do now. I'm fully just wireless mic and run around now.
Yeah, I would love that as well. God, the freedom.
Yeah, man. You playing guitar as well, are you?
No, I used to, but it just became like this huge shield, and it was just this lumbering weight, and I'm love being sort of the bionic bunny on stage and legging it about, and a guitar just didn't suit the energy.
Right, I'm gonna get you down here in Bournemouth for a show. We got to do it, I think.
Absolutely. Let's get it locked in.
Let's do it. I'll have a chat with some people about that.
I've played Bournemouth once before. I did the Cellar Bar a couple years ago.
That would suit really well. Yeah, we've actually never played that somehow.
Have you not?
No, we do.
Let's get on that.
Cave quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cool little venues. We recently did a bit of a bigger show. We did the Lighthouse in Poole, which is like a theatre show. Pyrotechnics, the works. It was fucking amazing. I'm really. I want to do it again. Now I'm hungry for that every time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't it funny? Like when as a musician, when you hear pyrotechnics, you're like, yeah. That's the one.
Every single one's like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
I want fire.
I did this.
Musician discovers fire.
Literally, yeah.
It was like at the last show. I think you said like smoke or something, didn't you? I mean, there was no smoke, and it was like, or something. I don't know what you said. You said something for Hero, I think, on our last show or something. I don't know. And you just went like smoke, but there was no smoke. There was no.
What?
I
don't know. Maybe I
think
tripping.
you might have dreamt this, mate. I didn't say anything of the sort. I got my lines for Hero. I know roughly what I'm going to do.
Maybe not
said anything about smoke.
I don't know. Maybe not then.
So
there was no smoke machine.
I'm not sure if I dreamt about this or not.
To be honest, I had the bass turned to 11.
It's true.
It's like, how many times can I ask the sound engineer for more bass? I'm like, at some point, he's gonna like. Is he just going like a?
Yeah,
just an inch, just a smidge. Yeah.
Like, stop.
I'm like, no, bro, just wind me up. Let's get.
Yeah, just literally have it.
Say more, I mean more.
Yeah, full pelt.
Yeah, man.
Thank God for inners. Oh my God.
So what kind of James? What kind of themes do you tend to write about? Obviously, you got the rock ballad kind of track there. We've talked about. What other kind of stuff do you tend to write about?
Well, the classic sort of fallback one is love. It's universal emotion that it's easy to. It's easy ink to use your pen with. But I like sort of varying it up a bit. Sort of, I had there was a single that I released a couple of years ago called "Life's Tasting Good," which was kind of just an expression of joy, which is that's cool. Always fun to do those ones.
You don't hear that very often,
you kind of exactly, and it's fun because you can properly express the happiness that you feel in the musical world and the situation. And it's as fun as love songs can be. It's also interesting to push your creative boundaries and write things which you haven't written normally.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I'd agree with that 100%. We got some pretty funky themes we write around. We switch it up quite a bit. Like I say, we've got 1 or 2 love songs. We also write about Victorian asylums and dystopian futures and fucking and all sorts of shit. So yeah, it's quite fun.
Okay, a challenge. I see. Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Challenge you to write a song about Bethlehem Asylum. There you go.
Something about like a.
Okay, let's see what I can do.
It's pretty good, dude. As soon as you start looking into that shit, you're like, fucking hell.
It's a lot to write about.
Yeah.
So we should do an SCP song, I think.
SCP. I don't know. Fuck it.
It'd be legendary.
We'll just like have a chorus about peanut.
Yeah.
All right. It's a bit niche.
No, you should read some of the log files. I think there's some good stuff.
True, the log file. I've watched the Infinite IKEA one like 10 times. It still gives me the shivers, dude. Infinite IKEA is the worst concept known to man. Could you imagine, James? Imagine going to IKEA, but it never ends. Like, it just never ends.
It's one of the 7 levels of hell. Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's IKEA, endless IKEA,
endless. And you just find
it's
all
all
the people
so
there.
lovely, so well furnished, and there's meatballs in the canteen, and it never ends.
No, it's abandoned. So the thing is that you go there and you can't die. Really, I don't think you can die. I don't know if you can't die there. That's worse, definitely. But it goes on forever, and all the other people that have arrived there are also in there somewhere, and you don't know how far. It's like going on a Minecraft server that's been going on for like 10 years and no one's still on it, and every now and then you find someone hundreds of miles into the map.
And but is everyone just so polite, like in a normal IKEA, where you go, oh, lovely furniture, isn't it?
They've all gone insane. Can you imagine? I think I spent like 2 hours in IKEA. It's the worst day of my life, honestly. It's like, imagine being in there for like 10 years. What happens?
Oh, you'd lose it. Your brain would turn to jelly.
Yeah. Absolutely something to explore in a song. Fair point, Callum. Well made. I don't know.
Who's lasting the longest in the Infinite IKEA?
In what way?
That is a good question.
So, well, all right. That'll do.
There's got to be a good.
I won't answer that.
There's got to be like a guitar in the Infinite IKEA.
Guitar in IKEA. You could probably form one out of bed.
Or ukulele. There'll be a ukulele.
Yeah.
Not.
You can make drums, surely, couldn't you? There's enough percussive stuff.
Oh man, I make drums out of thin air. It's so good.
Slap the air so hard it makes a noise.
It's so good. You sat in an office and everyone else around you sat there quietly doing their work. And I'm just like drum soloing on the fucking keyboard. I don't even know I'm doing it. It's golden. It's unintentional. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled questionnaire.
Yeah.
Oh, so yes, we diverted slightly, but we're back.
Infinite IKEA, bro.
Infinite IKEA. We were talking about musical themes.
It has claimed us.
Musical themes.
Musical themes.
Musical themes.
Write the theme tune.
What? I don't know where to go from musical themes. Where did you go from musical themes?
Oh. Anywhere, really.
Do you do music videos? Do you make music videos?
Yes. Yes, I have done. I'd like to make them with more frequency, but it is one of those things where you kind of think, oh, this will be a dead easy one, film it in 2 days and edit it, and then it does take a little while. But I mean, music videos are real fun because I like working with other people because I studied drama at uni, so I've got a lot of contacts who are in the filmmaking vein of things, and it's always great fun working with them because it's like catching up after a few years as well, and it's always nice to see people and they've got brilliant creative minds, so it's always useful to collaborate with them,
and hopefully get it done cheaper, get the mates rates. That's the ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a little
Music videos are
collaboration
expensive.
there.
Yeah.
They are
I
expensive.
love music videos, dude.
They- They're good fun. They're real good fun.
Absolutely love
Because
it. I think it's one
sometimes,
of my favorite parts for sure, dude.
absolutely, because sometimes it's nice to put some images onto a song. You know, you write a song and you kind of think, yeah, I wish I could sort of show what I was thinking when I wrote this, and you know, the vibe that was in your mind. And the music video it's a good canvas to put all your thoughts onto.
Certainly is, yeah, absolutely, man. I don't know about you when me and our guitarist Stevie, we talk about this quite a bit when we're writing, but when we're writing a lot of the time, it's very much we see images in our head of what we're writing about. So we're very visual writers. So it's when it comes to music videos and stuff, it's like second nature. It's almost part of the song. And a lot of the weirder concepts and stuff we do, obviously, it really lends itself to having some kind of video behind it. So absolutely get that.
Yeah, I agree with you completely, man.
Yeah, it's always good fun. Chaps, I'm afraid I've got to dip
Fine.
out. I've got to head off. I've got to do some prep for tomorrow's tour. We're back on tour. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can make it, we're on the tour with Gianni. It's the last 4 days. It's the final leg. See how smooth that was. All right.
The longest
we're
leg.
in Wolverhampton tomorrow. We're hitting Bathgate tomorrow. No, the day after tomorrow. Ooh, fuck. Wait, I'll start again. Where was I? Wolverhampton, Bathgate, Bradford, and finalising in Blackpool with a bit of a party after the show. So if you can make it down, please do. If you haven't got your tickets, check out Gianni's website, check out our website, check out Monte Carlo's website. It's going to be fantastic. James, pleasure catching up with you, man. I'm dead serious about getting you a show down this way, and we'll make sure we get you down here, and let's get some gigs going and shit like that. I think we'll have a bit of fun,
do it, man.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited for it.
I'll see you later.
Peace out.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye, Simon. Now he's gone. He's gone and dipped.
He was here briefly, and he gave us everything.
We do have a lot of preps to do for tomorrow. It's a long drive, and then an even longer drive. And then I'm so glad I'm not driving because, yeah, screw that. But
Relentless but joyful.
Yeah, the end result is joyful. Getting there and playing the show, that's the good bit. But it's like, you know, you do a lot of driving and you play for half an hour, and you got take all your gear off the stage, put it all in the van, and then back to driving, and you're a bit like, that was good. We'll do it again tomorrow, I guess.
It's always gear removal. That's when you feel it the most.
Yeah, that is definitely, especially when and everyone's trying to talk to you, and you're like, and the other band is trying to get on, and you're like, just let's get all that stuff off. We'll be 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll be 10 minutes at the most. And you just basically just shovel your guitars in the corner, and all the drums are in the corner. You're like, we'll do that later. Do that later.
It's always a laugh.
Absolutely. So we have talked a lot about music and other things, I suppose. But is there anything you do outside of music? Any hobbies or other than work? Obviously, because everyone's got a full-time job when you're a musician.
The rent paying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big football fan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't often have the chance to play that much. I do play occasionally.
Yeah.
But I mean, I spend so much of my time locked in with the music, and you know, filming TikToks and emailing people, and that is that's the main happiness, you know. But it's football. I love a bit of football. I write poetry on occasion. But nothing too strenuous. I don't go sort of base jumping or anything.
No. That's all right then. Do you watch the football as well, or is it just you just play a bit of football?
I do watch the football. I love. I'm a big Liverpool fan. I'm sorry to any people who aren't Liverpool fans who might be a bit turned off by that, but you know, home of the Beatles as well. Maybe it was just meant to be.
Maybe, perhaps. You know, who's in London? I don't know many football teams. I know is Crystal Palace in London. Is that a London team?
Yeah, my dad supports Crystal Palace actually.
You're not a hometown football, because we got Bournemouth, and Bournemouth have flew up in the league somewhat recently.
Oh, Bournemouth, yeah, of course. Because you guys are Bournemouth based, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Bournemouth, they're doing all right actually, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't follow football at all.
Slowly turning into
I just
into
know
a
what
football podcast.
I do not follow any football. I just know what people tell me at work because everyone at my work talks. Well, not everyone, but most of the customers talk about football, and I'm.
Well, it's one of those classic. It's the classic sort of socializing piece.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of the game? Big game, wasn't it? Eh?
See the ludicrous display last night. Okay, we can go into something. What would you say your greatest accomplishment is?
Oh,
Either music or non-music related. It can be, either or both. One of each.
I think it was actually at the Radio Wigwam Awards where I met Simon, of course. I won the best classic rock and blues artist for 2025, and that was such a wonderful feeling to to sort of win something. You kind of you spend a lot of time in the music business, sort of powering away at it and grinding away, and then to kind of get like a concrete well done, a concrete thing, an actual award. It's like whoa, okay, this is actually like it's substantial. It feels really nice. It's wonderful. I'm so thankful to all the beautiful people who voted as well. They were wonderful for it.
And well deserved, I think. A round of applause.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh,
What? How was the Wigwam Awards? The Wigwam. Wigwam.
The Wigwam Awards.
Wigwam Awards. I can't say it. Wigwam Awards.
It was really, really good. I mean, I hadn't really been to any Radio Wigwam big events before, but it was a real collection of fantastic people, really like a hub of creativity, and it was like everywhere you turned, you were meeting someone who who was just incredible at what they did, and it was a real valuable place to spend a whole evening just among people also doing what you do and struggling and succeeding in the same ways that you do. It was a nice get together.
Good. I'm ashamed I missed it. It was just Simon. I couldn't go.
Oh, you should come along to the next one.
We probably will eventually. I think we've been into more things as a whole band because it's getting all of us off work to go somewhere all at the same time is difficult enough as it is with gigs. But yeah, it would be something we'd definitely want to do, especially just to meet around,
Yeah, honestly, I think it's so worth it. I think you'd have a grand time.
Probably. Is it just artists which go, or is it a bit of everything?
I mean, I met a guy that was in sort of the law side of music law, and producers and publishers, and it's such a wide collection of people that the amount of contacts that you can get, and then it's always valuable, those kind of big networking events. You never know who you're going to meet.
That's half it's probably more than half, isn't it? Is just knowing people, and networking is half of the business.
It's knowing people and being in the right place at the right time, which obviously is impossible to know where the right place and where the right time is. But the best thing that you can do is be in as many places in as many places at as many times as possible.
That could also be put on a shirt.
Yeah. Where's the shirt? We'll get the shirt printers on it.
The shirt, yeah.
The boffins down at HQ.
Sorry, I've run over my headphone cable, but we're back. So do you go to many gigs and that other than your own gigs? Do you go and see many gigs?
I have been trying to more recently, but it's so strange because I go to my own gigs, and then what's great about them is you can then see all the other artists who are on the same bill, and it's it's like a free concert with 4 other bands, and you really get to get to know a lot of people. But I do like going to other gigs. My only thing is that I tend to find that like when I'm at a gig with a big audience and a big band, I'm always like, God, I wish I was on that stage. I really want to,
Yeah.
I want to join them. I want to go and do that with them. But there are some fantastic acts I've seen around London since moving as well.
Is there any which have like stood out for you, or any that have been like a big like I want to be just like, or not just like that, but I want to be doing like that. What they've done is amazing. Is anyone like that?
A friend of mine has for years been trying to introduce me to this band called Bad Nerves. I don't know if you've heard of them or not, or if anyone listening has heard of them. But they're this sort of indie punk kind of thing. And I went and saw them for the first time at Camden's Electric Ballroom, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, wow, the energy and the atmosphere was just so good. And every single person in the crowd was just locked in on it. And the music was so tight and so well performed. And there was a lot of, you could tell there was a lot of love put into the music as well. And it was just, you go to gigs like that, and then you kind of almost get a little boost personally when you kind of go, I gotta keep doing it, gotta get to that point, because that is just, it's ecstatic to be at those situations.
Exactly. Do you go to like the big shows, or are you mainly a little venue kind of person?
I have been to a few of the big shows. I went to see Harry Styles in 2023, and that was incredible. That was at Wembley, and God, I mean, he is a performer. He is a really good performer. No matter the boy band origins, I love One Direction too. I'll admit it. I'll freely admit it. I don't mind. But like, he's a really committed performer, and he's actually really, really good. I've seen Måneskin and Greta Van Fleet and Elton John, and I love seeing the big acts as well. But you find just as good, if not better, controversially, if not better acts at these small venues, and it's wonderful to find someone and go, wow, this is this should be at Wembley, this should be on the huge stage, but you're almost gifted because it's given to you in such an intimate setting. Yeah.
It's what I find, because I've only ever done one massive show, and it wasn't even that big. It was in Wembley, but it wasn't the big Wembley arena. It was the OVO one. I think that one. We went and saw Blackstone Cherry. I didn't really like Blackstone Cherry that much, but Simon was like, we have to go see him. And then supporting was The Darkness, and I absolutely loved The Darkness.
Oh, yes.
They absolutely blew me away, and it was like absolutely crazy. But you do miss that with, like, when you're in the big crowd. Obviously, big crowd things happen. There's always someone sitting next to you who's like being annoying and screaming too loud. Something, because we had that at Blackstone Cherry. We had some guys behind us. Every time someone finished a song, you'd just be like, let's go, like every single time.
Yeah.
And it got a little bit annoying,
but a little bit grating at times.
Yeah, and you do miss that connection, locking eyes with the singer awkwardly. That's always at the little shows,
That's a great one, though. Especially as the singer, you kind of have to go, oh my God, no, they are looking at me. That's fine. That's part of it.
Yeah. I'm always like, do you just stare? I always stare them down back. Like when I'm in the crowd and the singer locks eyes, just keep staring at him. Because I've noticed with Gin Annie, because I'm quite tall. I'm about 6'2" so normally I'm like above everyone's head. Yeah, unless there's like an absolute monster in the crowd taller than me. But the Gin Annie thing, I normally stand quite near the back, and we're normally by the merch table, so we're lit up anyway. But he'll just scan the room and then always lock eyes at me, and we just get into a massive staring contest now. Like, it's happened at least 3 gigs now, so it's been quite funny. So.
It's good. I mean, I'm a bit shorter than 6'2", so I tend to sort of be leaping up and down trying to spot the singer. And then I always find when you lock eyes with the singer, you sort of give a little appreciative nod. As a fellow musician, you go, you're doing a good job. It gives them a bit of an encouragement.
Or pull them and just give them a big thumbs up.
Good lads, you're doing well.
I couldn't imagine someone just give me a thumbs up and be like, yeah. Just pull the stupidest face to see if you can get them to like I don't know, mess up.
Try and distract them. Sabotage.
Yeah, I might try it. I might try it this weekend actually with Gin Annie.
Yeah, give it a shot.
See what happens. We've done all favourite gigs. Oh, is there anything you wish you could have said to yourself when you were starting out doing music?
That is a existential one, philosophical. God, what would I have said? Maybe don't worry about the awkward stage of the hair. It does grow out eventually.
Yeah.
I've known so many people who have said, I'm going to grow my hair out, and then they get to that awkward stage, and it lasts 2 weeks, and then they cut it, they give up, and I always say to them, just you power through that, and you're there.
You'll be good. Yeah.
You've got the hair. You've got it then.
That's what.
You don't have to cut it.
That's what a guitarist does. He's stuck in that moment now. He does it every single time where you can just get it in a little bun thing.
Yeah,
but it's
little
the little teeny tiny. It's like sticks out this much. But he hates how it is, and every single time he just lops it all off. Every single time. But he's really trying this time.
This is a message to all of those out there longing for the long hair. You just have to stick with it.
And brush it. Just brush it. Brush it, shampoo and conditioner.
Wide tooth comb.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Wide tooth.
We know. This is turning into the hair podcast.
There's a game changer, the white. Or the square paddle brush. I used to have one. I broke my one, unfortunately, and I'm on a different one. I should probably get one, actually.
One for the shopping list.
I always forget, when you just stuck with your brush, I like this brush. It's like, I've had it for so long now. It's
you get so used to it. You see it every day. It's in your hair every day.
Yeah.
And then when you get a different one, it's just not the same. Doesn't feel right.
You've worn it in. It's fits your head almost, and
Exactly. You both become familiar, and then it just disappears, or it breaks, or it snaps, and suddenly you're afloat in a sea of different brushes.
So, getting to the point of the hair.
The hair.
Would you say? I was trying to find a segue, but I can't. What would you say? What would you say is your pivotal moment you've had? Is it when you made the realization you were a 70s, 80s rock singer band guy, or
the pivotal moment? It might have been. I think it was a gig that I did back in 2023. I want to say 2022, 2023. And it was at the Phoenix in Exeter, and the Phoenix in Exeter always has these brilliant band showcases where they have a good few bands on, and then the crowd always just fills out, hundreds of people. And it was, the first time playing in front of a big crowd, and that was probably the pivotal moment in terms of confirming things and going, yeah, this is the image, and this is what I want to do, and this is where it's gonna go, and you just got to keep pushing, and you get to that point.
Yeah, quite nice.
Yeah,
it's quite good having the confirmation, and everyone, even if it's one person at the end of a show coming up to you and being like, smashing stuff, or sticking around because we nearly every single show we stick, even if we're playing first, we'll stick around for the whole show.
Got to do it, yeah.
Even to the end, we'd be we'll keep all the merch out, and we always chat with everyone and all the other bands and that afterwards. But yeah, even if it's just one person being that's pretty good. Be
it always feels good, and it always confirms to you, because that's a whole person who has decided that what they saw of you playing was good, and it's just a wonderful thing to entertain someone to that degree.
Exactly, because I've never gone up to a band afterwards at the end of a show and said how much I enjoyed them. Even when I really enjoyed them, a lot of the time. Normally I just buy a shirt, Well, I suppose I have when I bought a shirt. You know, when it's them selling the merch. Sometimes it's they have the merch guy or whatever. But when it's them, then I do a little chat. But yeah, it is scary doing that. And I was a bit like,
It can be terrifying.
I just want to buy the shirt and say that I like you guys. It's weird. So
Kudos to everyone who goes up to bands after shows.
Yeah, shout out, because that is tough. And
Yeah, proud of you all.
Yeah, that is mental. Okay, so we've just about made it to the hour mark.
Okay.
Which means it is time for some final questions.
Final questions.
Final questions. Have you got any new exciting stuff coming up?
Well, the plan that started this year was releasing a new single every 2 months. So we've already had 2 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Next one's coming out in June, so that's already a little exciting thing that's locked in. Other than that, tons of live shows, tons of new merch, tons of we've got a vinyl competition that we do regularly. There is stuff coming out the wazoo from James Sebastian, and just spreading the peace and love and the groove.
Mm-hmm. And the groove. And where is the best place for people to find you, or any place? I suppose.
If you want to listen to the music, it's probably Spotify, but it's available on all streaming services at James Sebastian. If you want to watch me in a media format, there's TikTok, there's Instagram, which I'm on both of them every day, very regularly, regular posts and everything. So drop a like, drop a comment, I'll comment back, and we can start up an artist fan friendship. It's always good fun.
That'll bring us to the end of the stream. So I know we have to go. I've got a long drive. Well, I haven't got a long drive. I'm going to be sat there.
That's true.
I'm going to be sat there drinking beers.
You've got to prepare yourself mentally for it.
I do have to pack my bags. I did recently. Crazy. I have to mention it because it's an extremely rare occurrence. But I changed the strings on my bass guitar. That is
that sounds fresh.
It is. It is
fresh.
I cannot wait. So yeah, don't miss out, everyone. Have you got any shows coming up? Actually, you mentioned this Friday.
Yes.
We should say that actually.
So this Friday, 23rd of May, the Amersham Arms in New Cross. Ticket links on all the socials and that. 4th of June, we are at the Fiddler's Elbow in Camden. 9th of June, we're at the New Cross Inn in New Cross again. And then 11th of July, we're at the Engine Rooms in Bow.
Ooh. Good old engine rooms. There's always an engine rooms in every city has a venue called the engine rooms. Yeah. And that is the best place if you ever want to experience a band, is to go see them live, not on TikTok.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Maybe on YouTube if you watch a video. Go see them live. 100%. Right. Mm-hmm. So that brings us, so we have to say our goodbyes. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, James, beloved James, for joining us.
Thank you, Callum. It has been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone, as well, for listening in.
It was. We have to get you down in Bournemouth. If we ever have anything planned, we'll squeeze you in.
Yeah, let's do something.
Whenever we do, I don't know. We were thinking about doing something at the end of this year, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We're always planning and scheming our own little shows. That's one of our favourite things to do. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, James, for joining. We will see you.
Thank you.
Well, I'll see you next week maybe, and then we'll see James whenever. You can see James on Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
At the Amersham Arms in New Cross, everybody.
There you go. The New Cross. There we go. And I need to click the button. Hang on. Right. Bye.
Peace and love.
The stream has ended. We're no
there
longer
we
live.
go.